I've been on VFW for 50 years. I've been here for 27 years.
My name is Bob Hardy. I'm a Vietnam veteran, and I am the commander of the George G. Lloyd Post, 529 in the city of Somerville, which is a congressional medal of honor post in the World War I billets.
My job when I was going out to the field with the CEO, Captain Barton, was set up the aid stations before the battles. That's what I wear when I do honors and parades. It's a Stetson, because I was in the 1st Cavalry Division. Well, I started, originally I was supposed to have gone to a light infantry unit, the 196 Light Infantry. So when I get over in Vietnam, down south in I Corps, they needed a rush for medics. I was a medic. And they sent us all to a medevac. And I ended up with a medevac unit up in the 1st Cavalry Division, where their base camp was on K. The day after Christmas, this past 50 years to the date, I was sent to 8 Company, 15th Met up in the Bong Son Plains, and now we were attached to the 3rd Brigade, which was all the 7th Cavalry. And we were there, sat there for about 5 weeks. Then we moved up to Camp Evans for Tet of 68. At that time there, I ended up being the CO's driver, so him and I were the first two to hit the field, and we set up an aid station on Camp Evans. And the Battle of Ways progressed at that point. Then after the Battle of Way, the Tet Offensive 68, down in Saigon, it had stopped, but up north in Quan Tri, up in that area there, let me see, a caisson, that it lasted for another 2.5 months almost. So after the Marines defeated the Vietnamese, we rested for a couple of days. Then they told us we had special quarters, we had to move again. We ended up going to LZ Stud, and that was up in closer to Quezon. We had to get the Marines out because Westmoreland didn't want them to happen just like it happened to the French. Then when the operation started, it only lasted about 5 days because we went up with a whole division and we were getting our brothers out and the Marines up there because they were there for 77 days after the siege. And that's how long it took it up there. So if you're talking January 30th down in Saigon, you're talking April up here that our brothers were caught in caisson and there was no way out for them. So when we get the roads open, then they walked out and they dismantled the base. Then what happened there, they sent us back to Camp Evans and back to our base, which 15th Med. The orders come again, we're moving. Where we moving this time, I didn't know the name until I got there. They called it the A Shore Valley. And we were there for 2 weeks. And I was telling people back in 68 and 69 when I come home, that there were tanks in the A Shore Valley. He told me I was crazy. I said, let me tell you, they were there. They sat us down for another 2 weeks. Then they moved us up to Quan Tri, which is in LZ Sharon. And at LZ Sharon, we would get liberated Quan Tri province up there. Then I just happened to take an R&R, and it was at the right time because I went to Hawaii. The division moved down to Tay Ninh City because what had happened, they thought there was going to be another Tet of 68 and 69, and they wanted Saigon protected. So they said to us 6 friends of mine, myself, there were 6, that, would you like to extend in Tay Ninh City? We went through once, and we're going home together. And we all went home, and I got home December 13th, 1968. What happens when you're there, after a while, better him than me, but we got our boys home, so, and that was the bottom line. Because if you notice them there, I went to Vietnam to save lives, not to take lives. And that's the motto of our unit. We went to save lives, not take lives. 1982, I went into my bag, got my 214 out, and I picked it up, and I read it. Never knowing what I did, I threw it in there for 13 years. And like those days, the thing for the vets were, either you do your drugs or you drink. Well, I took to drinking. And that was in 1982. Then I got involved in the post. Then the more I got involved, that I went to reunions and everything else, that the appreciation of being what I did in country, there's no word to explain it. I had a meeting with the general population of the post, and I asked them, would you like a nice post, gentlemen? And we had a vote. And we had 50 members there, 49 for and 1 against. They said, Bob, whatever you have to do, get us a brand new post. My job is for the next generation. I've already spent my time in hell. Make it easier for them. When they just decide they want to join, then they'll join. Just like I did and my other veterans, they come together, we joined when they wanted to get involved. We do a lot here for the community, and what we're going to do is going to be a hell of a lot more, because we're going to have a bigger hall, and it will hold about 180 people. And this will be the only hall that's not privatized in the city. But that's it, and we'll be upstairs, and the members, upstairs, the members' quarters here, and this one here will be for the hall like you see here. We're just reversing it. There's not many places that around this country that you see a new post being built. They're all merging together, just like with Melrose. There's two posts journeying together. For them to survive, they have to build condos on top of their property, and they're going to lose their hall. Well, we're not working that way. I'm looking to keep it and use it for revenue for the next generation, so they don't have to go through what we went through, because our World War II veterans bought that piece of land, and I just had the idea, let's spend it and use it for the next generation. That's how we're going to put them in there, win. And that's part of our history that was out there. This is what they dug up. You know what I'm saying? Generation after generation. Only veterans can talk like that.